Behind us, you can see this home burning, and right there is a wooden gate that is going up. You can hear the popping noise. Yep. And we're going to back up a little bit because that tree is on fire. At this point, investigators have not said what led up to the stabbing or whether they have found the weapon used. It is about shin deep, and when we push in, you can see the mud line goes all the way up to the bottom of this BMW. Let's do this. We're going to kick it up to our drone right now for some context, because there are about half a dozen cars that are basically stuck in this mud right here. The Mahanos are well known in this community because they own and operate this coffee truck. Most days you can find it at the corner of Lake and East Orange Grove. We were able to find a workaround. At this store in Hollywood, this box of trash bags was priced at $11.89. But we went into the Target app and changed our pickup location to Redondo Beach, and the lower price of $9.69 popped up. We spoke to a number of Mexican Americans who are devout Catholics, and they told us that people would actually skip church when Fernando would pitch on Sundays. And then, of course, they would try to make up for it by going to 2 masses the following week. There is a bit of a hissing sound, if you will, and that's because that is the gas line, and that is why this place went up in flames so quickly. If I may, I'm going to ask John to come and walk with me in this direction to give you a sense of what used to be here. This is one of the garages, and that's a former car. It's completely unrecognizable. To give you a sense of how much the earth has shifted, all you have to do is take a look at this parking lot. In recent years, the meaning of restitution has been heavily debated, but for Davis and her cousin, it's simply black and white. You know, all of this debris was pulled from this home that suffered significant damage. And to give you a sense of what happened, take a look at this hillside, which is completely blackened. And for hours here, the cameras captured the devastation. Listen to the wind roar as embers swirled while the Franklin fire exploded on Harbor Vista Drive in Malibu. This was the view from Malibu City Council member Bruce Silverstein's home.
Well, when we walked out the door, the sky was red. So we decided we got to get out of here.
He and his wife and their dogs initially went down to the Rouse parking lot on PCH, but they retreated to a hotel in Santa Monica to get more distance from the flames early Tuesday morning.
We were watching this last night on our Ring camera.
The family's cameras also include infrared, which recorded burning brush on all sides of their home.
2 or 3 times I thought my house was going to burn down.
Kurt Cam lives next door. He stayed behind after flagging down a fire engine company for help.
But all these things were swirling down, and you're standing here, and there's just sparks and embers blowing everywhere, and you think the world's coming to an end.
He managed to help the fire crew protect his home, but take a look at the top of his convertible, and there's more damage.
You know, this is all gone, and the sides of the car are a mess.
This LA County Sheriff's Department SUV also suffered damage on Malibu Canyon Road near Pepperdine University. Along Las Virgenes Road, we came across several hot spots that loosened the soil, causing rocks to fall onto the road. Outside Pepperdine, an aerial bucket brigade as helicopters took turns filling up water from 2 ponds on campus for their airdrops.
We just redid this whole wall.
Silverstein says he and his wife moved back into their home in March after 2 years of renovations. It had been red tagged after suffering water damage from a broken hydrant nearby.
I'm just overwhelmed by the fact that we have to start this whole rigmarole over again. And I'm hopeful we'll have enough insurance money.
And Caltrans tells us that the closure that had been on Topanga Canyon Road has been lifted, while PCH between Topanga Canyon and Canyon Dune will stay closed indefinitely. Reporting live in Malibu, Jeff Nguyen, KCAL News.
All right, thanks, Susie, because no matter where you go in Los Angeles, chances are someone is upset about the trash in their community, which is why we took a deep dive into city data on calls for service and citations. And we looked at the budget to see if enforcement is being prioritized.
Really? Really? This is not a dumpster.
This is the voice of anyone who's ever felt forgotten or ignored.
Wow, dude, they literally just dumped everything.
I believe that this is all construction trash.
Ruben Donis says the alley behind his home in Pacoima has been an illegal dump for years.
People just come and trash from the job sites that they get.
Is that a sink?
Here, a sink over here. You can see someone demo either a kitchen or bathroom.
He suspects that crooked contractors will charge their clients to haul away trash but pocket the money instead of going to a landfill. During our short interview, we saw 2 trucks, including this man, looking for scraps. But he chucked the 2x4 back after noticing our cameras. Jeremy Mora is a business owner in downtown LA who's had enough of talking trash.
I can't help but to notice there are so many plates here. Why is that?
There's a whole line of food vendors here on Olympic.
His security cameras captured a front loader dumping trash. Then there are people dragging large bins and emptying them in the middle of the street at night and during daylight on camera during business hours with plenty of witnesses. This area is known as Produce Row, where fruit and vegetables that end up on our plates are offloaded off trucks, steps from rats.
There are about a dozen rats here, and this stretch is Produce Row.
Yeah.
What's the impact to all of us?
I mean, worst case scenario, these rats get to play with your food.
And the pavement here is littered with rat droppings.
Why should anyone care about this?
It's a health hazard.
The problem isn't exclusive to one neighborhood. Look at what happened to a sofa and car bumper when this truck slams on its brakes to allow gravity to do its dirty work.
LA's #1 party station.
Mega 96.3 FM's DJ Eddie One is a neighbor.
Oh man, it was upsetting because she was like entire pieces of an engine.
KCAL News analyzed data from the LA City Department of Sanitation between 2021 and 2023. Calls for service on illegal dumping dropped by nearly 14%, but citation numbers nearly doubled. This year, we were able to get data between January and July, and the citation rate dropped compared to last year's rising trend. In 2022, the city budget added openings to hire 11 environmental compliance inspectors who have enforcement power against illegal dumping. The next year, those 11 positions stayed in place, but they were deleted from the current budget, and no one from City Hall could tell us why.
Are you aware of these positions being cut in the budget?
I'll say this, like, dumping remains a major problem and one that we're out in front of. Enforcement is one tool in the tool set.
The Deputy Mayor of Infrastructure, Randall Winston, says Mayor Karen Bass has revamped 311 service to better respond to issues like illegal dumping. According to the City Controller's Office, the Bureau of Sanitation's budget increased nearly $90 million between 2021 and 2023, but it was cut by more than $15 million from the current fiscal year.
So I'm not familiar with that number, but I will say in terms of our response for cleaning up the city, we've actually bolstered our services since the prior year. We're reallocating resources now to develop a new plan for citywide cleaning.
When will that new plan be rolled out?
So either later this year or early next.
On October 1st, the LA Council approved a motion to instruct sanitation and other necessary departments to identify funding to resume illegal dumping investigations because the unit was not provided the required funding.
We provided like photos, videos, timestamp. No matter how much information and evidence you give them, there is absolutely zero enforcement effort.
You guys are all on record.
This video was recorded by Artemisa and Gabino Ariola's daughter-in-law. The couple says on top of the trash, the sheen you see here is motor oil that's also dumped behind their home. Their daughter-in-law says she's reached out to 311 dozens of times and she's forwarded her emails with the Office of Council Member Monica Rodriguez pleading for help. We made numerous requests for an interview in October, but it wasn't until right before airtime that her office sent a statement saying, in part, I take illegal dumping and community cleanliness very seriously, and my team conducts weekly community drives to ensure this area and all other areas in Council District 7 remain clean.
What do you want to say to the councilwoman?
Every time she called Monica to pick up the trash, she'll wait like at least 2 months.
The sanitation department also declined our request for an interview. We did get a statement that read in part, they're committed to combating blight and leveraging existing resources through a strategic approach. And in November, we began deploying crews to additional areas daily to collect litter, debris, illegal dumping, and bulky items.
This is our backyard over here.
Ruben Donis recently came home to trash tossed from the alley into his backyard, which he has worked hard to turn into a retreat. But on the other side of the wall, he often finds syringes left behind by scavengers drawn to the trash.
It's sad, but we can, like sometimes kids, like can we have a movie night, just be here with a little popcorn and have the family enjoy, but we can't.
While his home may be his castle, he says he needs help defending it.
Leading up to this report, the mayor's office sent us videos and photos of a cleanup effort she hosted this past weekend. While Ruben Donis tells us he did get a call from Deputy Mayor Randall Winston in mid-November promising more will be done. But Donis says there hasn't been any follow-up. And as for Councilwoman Rodriguez's office, it says it has reached out to the neighborhood we featured, but the people we talked to say they haven't heard from anyone. And they tell us, Susie, that they have given up on calling 311 after they say years of disappointment.